Good morrow, fellow world walkers. How fare thee? Welcome to my kingdom of creativity. I'm your host, Dudley Clarence Sturgis IV, and this is The Writing Rainbow, the show where I give writing advice, explain literary concepts, go over genres, lay out character dynamics, and more. Today I am going to explain the literary concept of purple prose. Let us venture forth. Purple prose is a literary concept defined as writing that is too poetic, flowery, or ornate. It often distracts and detracts from the story, when it is ultimately an author's goal to enhance it. Purple prose is not always bad, however. In certain situations, like dream sequences or surreal moments in a story, it works perfectly. But when describing things, situations, and people, it tends to get readers lost in the sauce, as you humans like to say. Really, it all depends on what you're writing and what you are trying to accomplish with that writing. Here I will provide examples of purple prose, the severe lack of it, and a good balance between the two. These are all examples that I have written specifically for this video. Even after all this time, he was still as mysterious as the horizon where the sky meets the sea. That aura that radiated from within him felt cerulean blue, like the depths and the fathoms below, yet seemed to somehow glitter, just like the sparkles of the reflection of the midday sun on the surface of the shallows. Those fiery thoughts behind his ocean eyes always eluded me, and yet I found myself craving him like a merman craves the water. He was mysterious. I wanted him. After all these years, he was still such a mystery to me. Although his energy was calming and inviting, I could always tell that he wanted something more, just by the look in his eyes. Longing. I have never wanted anyone so much in my entire life. See the difference? All three of these technically could suffice depending on what sort of story you are writing. The purple prose example would not be out of place in, say, a romance novel. However, if it was a horror, the readers probably wouldn't be searching for such a flowery, romantic experience. So perhaps one would choose the balanced prose example for it instead. And for the lack of prose example, perhaps this would be a good option for a story outline when one first sits down to list out the plot points. Or perhaps if your story is in a character's journal, it could work there. It also depends on the character speaking. Is your character poetic and romantic? Or are they completely sterile in their descriptions? Perhaps they use a lot of slang or colloquial terms depending on where the story takes place. And if your narrator isn't a character, but instead you're opting for the third-person omniscient viewpoint, you must be careful of making them opinionated. They shouldn't say that someone is beautiful, they should say that someone thinks that character is beautiful. Instead of describing the calming beauty of a pretty pond in a mysterious forest, it should describe the landscape itself as it appears. It should not have any opinions on anything. It is just there to describe situations, locations, characters, and plot points because it does not technically exist, therefore it would not have opinions. As you can see, there are a number of factors that play into the idea of purple prose. It all boils down to matter of opinion and preference, and at the end of the day, this author believes you should write as you see fit. Thank you so much for going on this little journey with me. If you liked it, please, by all means, hit me with that thumbs up. Have some thoughts? Leave a comment. I read them all. Also, I have books, music, and more available for purchase. And I have a Patreon if you'd like to support me that way. All links in description. Thank you for your continued support, my fellow world walkers. Until next time, when we meet again at the tavern to discuss future ventures, fare thee well.